You want to do? Oh my God, it's Anita Sarkeesian. Fuck me.
Yay.
Oh yeah. I thought this series was over, but I guess not. Question mark.
It'll never end.
That's scary.
No, Anita can never stop.
Bam.
Yeah, I know, but that ass though.
Dead ass.
I like how that was like how she started the video to like portray something horrible, and to anyone except her and her followers, like that wouldn't be horrible at all.
No, that's pretty much normal.
Yeah, to them, it's like, oh my God, an ass. Not an ass.
They're turning into the religious right.
Yep.
They don't want to do anything to do with sex.
Is
Women
haram.
cannot be seen as sexy.
Do not
They'll
show
start
woman's
wearing
body.
burqas eventually.
Yes, do not show woman's body. Is haram.
Right.
Triggering.
Totally triggered by her music.
I wonder if that intro ever triggers anyone.
I'm sure. Actually, I'm not convinced any of these people who claim to be triggered are actually triggered. So I'm going to say no.
Well,
Maybe
what's
it's
funny
like a
is
placebo trigger.
what's funny is as someone who's seen someone have their PTSD triggered, you don't get to tell someone. It just happens. You just have an anxiety attack. You don't get to say
so
triggered. It's not a thing.
So you don't get to make a Tumblr post about it first?
No, no.
Oh, okay.
Movement can be a powerful thing. Most of us who play games
Oh, we caught her on dirt face.
Her first sentence makes me homicidal.
Movement.
Hold on.
Powerful.
Did she draw her eyebrows on with a black crayon? Like, what is that?
It does look that way, doesn't it?
Like, girl, like, what?
That sounds like a sexualized insult. Commenting on a woman's appearance. How dare you?
can appreciate the importance of a well-timed jump in a platformer or a skillful dodge in a fighting game.
Don't
But
act like you
sometimes
know what
it's the seemingly
those
ordinary
are.
movements that actually tell us the most about a character. The way they do simple things like walk or sit down. And like anything else about a character, movement can be used in ways that
Oh
resist
my
higher
God,
gender
it's more
stereotypes or in
subliminal
ways that
bullshit.
reinforce them. In Bungie's hugely successful online shooter
Keck. Hugely successful.
I can already tell this is building up to another conspiracy, like her video on butts. It's gonna be the exact same thing.
Oh yeah, of course.
Destiny, players start
that
by
was the
creating
picture.
their own character, a guardian who will fight to protect the last remnants of humanity. As with character creation tools in other games, this one lets you choose from different genders and races. In most ways,
Well, skin colors. There were no racial shifts there, but okay.
Yeah, it's just like a different color painted on the model.
Yeah, that wasn't really
Yeah.
a racial shift, but okay.
And who even cares what ethnicity you are in Destiny? You're wearing like a helmet and a suit of armor the whole time.
Jesus.
Destiny treats its playable female characters almost identically to how it treats its male characters.
Almost. But she still managed to find a little bit that niggled her.
Right, it's mostly good, but we're gonna make an entire video about how like this really small aspect of it is really horrible, and you should give me money.
Actually, big reveal, the characters sit differently.
Oh my God. Yeah, you know, when you play a lot of games, like, oh, I switched from this soldier in Call of Duty to another soldier, it didn't feel a lot different. It's like, yeah, I'm sorry, it's because it's a shitty game.
Well, and
It's
if
not
we did, you'd be
sexist.
even more upset about that. You'd be more upset about any differences that were put in the game than similarities. It's very clear to us by now.
Yeah.
For instance, the armor you acquire when playing as a female character isn't sexualized, but looks just as practical and stylish as the gear equipped by male characters. However, there is one way in which the male and female characters are differentiated by
Oh
gender.
shit, Destiny,
One.
you were doing so good, but one little niggle, you're
One.
stepping out of line.
Can't meet Anita's standards.
You know, it was looking pretty good. You know, the armor wasn't
got another-
sexualized, but
Got another good Anita derp face. She makes a lot of
keep
those.
catching her in that face. Anita, what's up with your face?
It's that slow Valium blink.
Okay, I'm actually gonna stick up for her really quick. She has one of those faces you can't really pause on, and I feel like you can't really pause on my face either.
That's why you're not on camera?
No.
Awesome.
Yeah,
And it
no,
has
she's
to
not
do
very
with their
photogenic, fortunately.
Watch how a male guardian
Here we
sits
go.
down, taking a load off after a long, hard day fighting the forces of pure evil.
Letting them balls swing.
It's simple. It suggests confidence.
Suggests his
doesn't.
balls are hot.
How?
He just looks like he's lazy.
Yes.
Just like, yeah, whatever.
He looks tired, actually, just like she said. He's taking a load
He
off.
looks like the hood rats hanging out outside the mall. Like that's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
what?
I'm not feeling this overwhelming sense of masculine confidence in this pose.
When a female character sits down, however, it's a completely different story. She sits like a delicate flower. This is supposed to be a hardened space warrior, and yet she's sitting around like she's Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
What?
Uh,
That didn't look delicate. I mean, what?
There's never winning.
so wait, so Anita wants the female character to sit with her legs spread?
Yes, and then the camera can pan, and then it'll show her crotch, and she'll cry about that.
You know what? But if that happened, she'd be complaining. She'd be the first one.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. There's no
Oh,
winning with
fuck
these
you,
people.
Anita.
There's just
Fuck
no
you
winning.
so much.
What they did is put her in a pose that there's no way the player could put a camera in an inappropriate place. That is all they did, and that was the most genius way to do it. And then she's mad because it's different than the guy.
I want the male character to sit like that too.
Jesus.
A character's animation and movement is just as much a part of who they are as their appearance and
She shows a character who mostly isn't animated.
their clothing. And like any other aspect of a character, game designers use movement to communicate information about them to the player. This isn't inherently a bad thing. Expressive character animations are just a way for the game to contribute to our understanding of who a character is and what defines them.
She always reminds me of a hood rat that gets pulled over by the cops and is trying to use all the big words they know in every sentence ever. She always reminds me of that every time she does a video. It's like you
Codified doctrine of Islam.
Yeah, exactly. Are you familiar with the actual codified documents of Islam? Is that like no? What are you talking about?
Codified. What?
Your face is like that every time you pause.
I know. It's
I
a
think
skill.
you're doing it on purpose, Hagbard.
It's a skill. No, it is actually because she has slow, volume-y blinks. She has like there are 3 or 4 frame blinks. It's not my fault, and I've done it because I've edited her videos. There's 3 or 4 frame blinks.
Oh God.
How a character walks, jumps, even how they sit down can tell us a lot about them. For instance, Ryu Hayabusa's precise and graceful movement conveys that he is a highly trained ninja. While the way Nathan Drake scrambles and fumbles in dangerous situations is meant to suggest that he's more of a relatable, ordinary guy.
He's bad at it. That's the point. He's a normal guy who gets thrown into weird situations. That's the character.
I wouldn't call Nathan Drake relatable.
No, he's a dim-witted dick, and if you think he's relatable, you have a very low opinion of most people.
What's she getting at? Let's see the reveal.
Who just keeps finding himself in extraordinary circumstances.
We were almost in that.
By contrast, the way that women move in games isn't just used to suggest their confidence or their skill or some other facet of their personality. It's very often used in conjunction with other aspects of their design to make them exude sexuality for the entertainment of the presumed straight male player.
Here's the conspiracy shit.
I love that. Yeah, well, no, it's irrelevant. Even if that's true, who cares? What's your point?
And you know what's interesting is, like, growing up when I was younger, like, I was very attracted to a lot of male video game characters because they were made to be, like, hyper masculine, really buff, like, often, like, lightly clothed. Like, it's the same thing. Like, all these characters, especially in these, like, superhero games or, like, shooter games, the characters are made to be, like, dramatically masculine or dramatically feminine. It's what they do for both of them. It's not.
Yeah, look at
focused on
fighting
women
games.
only.
Is she going to tell me that Nathan Drake isn't sexualized?
Yeah,
He's not some Casanova?
Yeah, you don't want to get into that. If you don't think that he's literally the archetype that some women like, then you're dead wrong. But beyond that, it's It's just so ridiculous. It's hard for me to even process that she can call this sexism. If what these people want is some sort of cultural, and everyone uses cultural Marxism, but that's not really accurate. It's cultural communism. They literally want everyone to be the exact same. They want this weird androgynous future where everybody just wears coveralls and calls each other by numbers.
Oh, shit. That sounds wonderful.
I don't know why.
They think entirely in the collective. Like, they want everyone to... They want drones.
I think it's because a lot of it stems from insecurities. Like, they don't feel good enough, so, oh, these other people are better than me. They aren't allowed to have that. You know, everyone needs to be... We need to have the lowest common denominator, basically. And it's just not going to work.
Yeah, you have to drag everyone down to equality.
Which would actually be an interesting album title. I was going to say band name, but it's a little too long.
Yeah, but if you look at even fighting games, the male characters are huge, shirtless, muscled creatures. And the female
that's realistic. Everyone looks like that.
Yeah, and the female characters are all sinewy, thin, lithe, sexualized creatures. Why? Because both parties are looking. That's completely fine. I mean,
when I'm playing Street Fighter, I want it to be a bunch of like blue-haired land whales. That actually might be fun.
I would pay for that game to watch just the Jello physics.
Holy shit!
Man, the graphics in that game were fucking awesome.
What the hell?
Catwoman from the Arkham series has a deeply exaggerated hip sway when she walks.
Oh my god, she covered this in the last video.
Anita's so jealous.
Catwoman is a character who was specifically invented to be sexual, you fucking moron!
Yeah, well, Anita's just mad. Anita's mad her boyfriend got distracted by a Catwoman once.
You mean John McIntosh?
No, her real boyfriend.
Oh yeah, not her stooge.
Not the one that sits in the corner and masturbates while the real boyfriend fucks her.
All right, John, come over here for your pegging. Nothing against that. Just saying. It'd be awkward if it happened to John McIntosh.
Hey, do what you do.
With her clothing and the game's camera angles, all of this is meant to drive the player's focus to her highly sexualized butt. In Resident Evil Revelations, Jill Valentine somehow manages to wiggle her whole body while she runs.
This really bothers her. You can hear it in the way she talks. You know, that's just how people move, right?
Yeah, and I have a question. What harm does it do? Like, even if these characters, even if we're to go with what she is saying, that these characters were specifically designed to be really over-sexualized women, what actual real-life, real-world harm does it do?
Exactly. That's the other side. Is it's like, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. Even if it is for straight males, who cares? Who cares? Is they not allowed to do that?
There are games for every demographic. I mean, sure. A lot of times, I'll give her that they market to straight males because those are the people who are mostly buying games.
Yeah.
It's an industry.
And if the other
kind
games...
of complaining about Band-Aids that aren't black. It's like, well, you know, most people are not black, so...
Oh, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. In the nations where these bandages are sold, that's the case. I mean, and in the nations where they're sold otherwise, they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine that. I mean, and like Teal Deer said, some of the reason they're that color is so you can see when they're dirty. You don't want a dark brown bandage that you can't tell if it's dirty or not. That's not a good thing.
It just puts some infected gauze on your wounds.
Yeah, it's
that's fine. Yeah, we keep going.
In Assassin's Creed Syndicate, Evie Frye is a character who avoids falling into many of the sexualizing traps that some playable female characters do, but she still walks with an exaggerated hip sway. In Saints Row the Third, you can change your...
What?
No, she doesn't.
Good pause.
What the... Is that Caitlyn Jenner?
Looks like it.
Oh my god. Yeah, and the character she was just showing from Assassin's Creed was like completely covered as well.
And didn't have an exaggerated hip sway. I didn't notice any hip sway at all.
Listen,
so basically if you walk like a normal person where you shift weight from each leg and your hips bounce slightly, that is considered an exaggerated hip movement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Basically, if you can tell that the statistical probability is the person you're watching walk is a female, it's sexist. You shouldn't be able to tell, I guess. I guess that's the whole goal.
Well, we can make Burqa the game. It would be amazing.
Character's gender at any time. If you go to the clinic and swap your gender from male to female, you also come away with a newly sexualized walking animation, even though you're literally supposed to be the...
Sexualized.
Oh my god.
Yeah, sexualized. It's not just how women walk.
Okay, here's the thing about men and women. Men have more weight up top, so when they walk, their top moves more. Women have more weight on bottom, so their bottom moves more. That's just how it fucking works. It's not sexist.
And the guy is clearly, he has some sexualization going on, a little bit. But she's not complaining about that.
Well, he's not sexualized. He just looks like his sex. If a woman looks like and walks like her sex, she's being sexualized inherently.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but that's how it works.
Apparently.
the same character. Male heroes are allowed to simply walk like normal human beings in ways that...
This is so inside her own head. Holy shit.
She's putting her diary
It's literally, it literally is nothing more than a man walks like men walk, and women just walk like women walk.
Do you guys think that, like, she actually believes this shit, or do you think she's just gotten in so deep that, like, this is her income, so she's just doing it?
I honestly can't tell.
I think it actually might be a combination. Like, it might have been, like, a con thing at first, but it's been going on for so long, eventually you do start kind of believing it.
Yeah, like so many radio hosts and things I've seen do it before.
Yeah, like Glenn Beck.
are average or strong or graceful or goofy. Meanwhile, motion captured animations for female characters often make them look as if they're walking down a runway at a fashion show in stiletto heels.
Maybe, just maybe, you should have a discussion with all those motion captured women. You just said motion captured.
They were
dear.
brainwashed, okay? Look. You don't understand.
For
The
fuck's sake.
patriarchy pays well, okay?
For walking.
That'd be an awesome job. Shit.
Even when the characters are actually in combat situations.
Oh, yeah.
Watching these
Another character that's meant to be sexual.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not only that, but has gun boots.
Those are fierce.
Yeah, she has to kick her legs up at some point to use those.
Yeah, I mean, it's an excuse, sir, but it still kills people. I mean, what do you want? That's empowerment. Shit.
No, she's the victim, even though she just killed a bunch of whatever angel guys.
Yeah, well, at least she was just killing men.
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I
characters
forgot.
in movement animations, you'd think that the director of the motion capture session directed them to walk like a model instead of a hardened space warrior, or master thief, or bioterrorism agent, or crime boss, or vampire, or assassin.
The female...
Well, that's the thing about female warriors. I mean, there really is no such thing as a female warrior. So these are imaginary characters to begin with. Like, women are not warriors. That's just not what it is. So obviously, the characters that are warriors are going to have, like, dramatically feminine features because they're not men.
Yeah. I like how cherry-picked this is. Look at the cast of characters she picked. I bet right now our chat could find an equal number of non-sexualized, and even more non-sexualized characters.
Oh, certainly.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think we've given Anita enough time.
Yeah. She's garbage.